What's up, everybody? One wild card series in the books as the Dodgers take the 2 games against the Reds. Pretty big time mismatch on paper, taking nothing away from the Reds. They made it. They were amazing in September. Their bullpen, especially that play that Noel Marte made against the Pirates, was really crucial. It felt like the Braves in 2018 versus the Dodgers. We had just made it back to the playoffs after our rebuild, and the mismatch was there. We did get the moment with, Ronald Acuna Jr.'s grand slam. Man, the Reds had a few moments, but Hunter Green struggled with the home run ball in Game 1. The Dodgers starting pitching is going to be the biggest key for them this postseason, because if they have to rely on many pieces in that bullpen, it could be nightmarish, because Yamamoto was able to get out of bases loaded, no outs in the 6th in a 3-2 game, and they rode Yamamoto for 117 pitches-wise, I believe, and then it kind of imploded on the Dodger bullpen in the 8th like it did in Game 1, with walks and non-competitive pitches, and with a deeper offense that is going to come back to bite, especially for like the Phillies and beyond. So I think that the Dodgers are going to have to reverse the script they did last year, where they relied less on their starters and heavily on the bullpen. Now I think it flips. They're going to have permission slips to go 120, 115 to 125, and using starters out of the pen is probably a likely strategy, because the Dodgers were up 10-2 in Game 1, and then in the 8th, yesterday, they allowed the tying run to come to the plate, or tying run on deck circle, and then in this game, Yamamoto was awesome, but he was able to escape a bases-loaded no-out jam in the 6th, and come out unscathed, up 3-2, and then the Reds defense kind of let them down with a Ben Rohrvet error on a bunt attempt, and then they flipped the lineup too much over to Shohei Ohtani, and the big boys destroyed the Reds, and you can't give that lineup extra outs. I'm not saying anything that anybody doesn't know, but the Dodger bullpen and Teoscar Hernandez and the defense has to clean it up, because the only 2 runs Yamamoto allowed were because of a hit by pitch, a drop fly ball, and a 2-out 2-run single by Sal Stewart in the 1st. But against the teams like the Phillies, the Brewers, and things of that nature, that's going to come back and bite you. So I don't think the Dodger bullpen has enough unless they're creative with using starters out of the pen, or allowing their starters, Blake Snell, Yamamoto, Ohtani, to go longer stretches, because, Emmett Sheehan got pulled in a 1-2 count, and you really don't ever see that, postseason game or not, but Dave Roberts wasn't messing around, and you can tell he has very little circle of trust. The Reds, it was just a huge mismatch, and once the ball got rolling for the Dodger offense, they couldn't really stop it, and it just is what it is. They deserve to get in, because their bullpen ERA in September was like under 1, and they did a lot of good things. but you can see why they only had 83 wins. I mean, at times. So the Dodgers win, but it's not pretty, and they definitely have to clean things up. But when you have Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and the list goes on, you can cover up some pitching questions for sure. And it's like I said, it's the opposite of what they dealt with last year. So we'll see if it comes back to bite. But they showed why they're one of the best teams and have been one of the best teams for many a year. And we'll see if that questionable bullpen or the leaky pen comes back to bite them. Congratulations to the Reds on a scrappy, hard-fought season, and I know they're going to be back and be in full force, and probably definitely in on the Kyle Schwarber market, because Kyle's from Cincinnati, and in that ballpark, whew, look out records, look out fans, because there should be some fun offense coming to Cincinnati soon, because I think this first postseason run in a non-COVID season is the first of many, and that NL Central is going to be fun to watch for a while. But ultimately, the Dodgers they got to clean up the errors and things of that nature, because teams like Philly, the Brewers, and the Padres, Cubs, they're going to come at you. And hopefully they don't make their starting pitchers' arms fall off, but I think that might be the ultimate plan for them to try to get back-to-back championships. But this series wasn't exactly a surprise. The trend in the playoffs so far that is annoying to me, and it is annoying. It's my biggest pet peeve in baseball, and I know hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do, so I'm not trying to be one of those people, but it's going to sound like it, so I'm just prefacing it. But there's been so many instances in this postseason so far already. Runner at third, one out, second and third, one out, bases loaded, no outs, and the pitchers gut up and make amazing pitches, but it feels like the batters are trying to do way too much and forgetting the pitchers. The pitchers are the ones in trouble, and the sac fly has gotten in the way of the dodo bird. The RBI ground out, the productive outs have gone away of the dodo bird so far in this postseason, and I think whoever has the most productive outs is going to hoist the trophy. Obviously, if the home run ball comes in droves, that helps everything out. But the little things matter in the postseason, and it's kind of escaped teams so far, especially the Reds tonight in the 6th and the 8th. They couldn't pounce on some things, and but they made the Dodgers bite their nails probably more than expected. So that is a start. But Dodgers advance. They will play the Phillies. I believe that starts on Saturday. 3 winner-take-all wildcard games coming up tomorrow. I will have the full recap of all of those, so be on the lookout. But as always, go baseball, go playoffs, go Braves. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Helps out a lot. Thanks, guys.